Alrighty, it's your boys the Uxus, and today we're going to be talking about things you do not want to be doing on your Nikke grind. If you've been playing daily, it's about to be 3 weeks, I think, or it's maybe been already 3 weeks since the game has released, and you've probably been playing and playing. You've probably run into some issues like some roadblocks in here and stuff like that. That's mainly because of your power, but I want to make sure that I do this video just so that whoever comes across it, you're realizing, or hopefully if you are doing this thing, you're set. But if you're not, you want to probably start doing this, right? So let's just get into it. Right now with Nikke, most of your stuff is coming from, or I should say most of your time, your playtime is coming from arc and campaign, right? Especially when it's reset time, you're most likely at arc, because you have all these things to do. You have the tower. If you have lost sector open, then you have that going. But it's mainly interception and the simulation room, right, that you're mainly doing. So with interception, it's not really that hard. You do it one time and then you just really quick battle the other ones. Unless you want to do it once and then power up and then come back and do it. I know you could do it like that, but I honestly, I just do it once and then quick battle, right? I try to progress throughout the day rather than doing it once, progress, doing it again, progress, doing it again. But you can do it either way. There's nothing really there. So I think if as long as you're doing it every day, make sure you're doing this every single day, right? Don't do it once and then let it leave, right? It takes a minute to do it and then you can skip out of the other two. So make sure you're doing this every day. D or S, whatever level you have open. Your highest level is your still the it doesn't matter what difficulty you're doing, right? Whatever you're able to do it, because the higher your power is, the better your rewards, right? The more damage you do, the better the rewards you get, right? Now, mainly simulation room, because I know a lot of people complain about this one. Me personally, I don't have a problem with this. I don't have a problem with simulation room. I don't see a problem to have with simulation room. I'm actually just gonna or can I just click this and check? Okay, wait, it's loading. But I don't have a problem with this mode because I can essentially just quick battle everything. Now, me, I've spent, okay, why it froze? Me, I've spent on the game, right? I'm just gonna close my simulation. It's fine. But me, I've spent on this game, so the difficulty for these are not really that difficult for me. Right? Of course, it depends on your buffs or whatever. But if we go to begin simulation, I'm on simulation 4, and I know people do struggle with especially when it comes to C. It is not easy, right? But you get buffs going along, right? So let's say you are able to do only A and B. I can complete C. It's just the last one. I didn't have it on auto, so all my people died and I can't do anything about it, right? But let's say you have it on A and B, or you've done A and B and you get to C and you've kind of had a roadblock, right? What I would recommend doing, rather than just giving up if you can't beat floor C, I guess, of difficulty 4, you could just go back to 3, right, and do it. Right, if you clear like A and B on 4, you can go back to 3 and clear C, right? Even though the rewards are slightly less, you're still gonna beat it more easy or easier, right? Or it's the same thing goes if you just want to, get rewards. If you're just looking for these, I wouldn't recommend it, but you could do like difficulty 1 A, B, and then go to like 4 for C. I highly wouldn't recommend that, but if you are doing 4 and you can't beat C, do A, B, and then go to 3 and do C, or go to whatever difficulty you're comfortable with and do C, right? Automatically, I would think it would be C for 3. But that is, don't give up on this. Don't keep refreshing, going through A, B, C, and trying to get the best luck. It's not that serious. If you cannot beat it, just go to C. Or 3 and do C. I think that's your best bet, right? So if you are doing this and you are struggling, if you just give up, don't give up essentially, because you're losing mats, right? These are something you can do daily. These are daily rewards you get. So the more you decide to give up on getting these rewards, the more rewards you're losing essentially, right? It's not like something that it's one time and then go. You can just come back and it won't matter if you do it today or tomorrow. It matters if you do it today. If I do it today and tomorrow and the person next to me only does it tomorrow, guess what? I got double the mats because I've done it the day before as well, right? So sure, if you can't beat A, B, and C, just do A, B, and then go to another difficulty and finish C, right? When you get stronger, then keep trying every day, I would say. Even though it takes long, I get it. Just push through it, right? Because most of them you're skipping anyways, right? Also, when it comes to simulation, because a lot of people don't know this, I'm gonna just go to difficulty 1, right? Because it doesn't matter unless I actually beat it. But when you get here, right, and you beat these, it's gonna ask you for a buff, right? So I'm gonna just pause it, do it, and then come back when it gives me a buff. All right, so I beat it here, and I could just go back and end it. But I wanted to just kind of give this, like, let you guys know, because I know some people really just be clicking buffs and you don't even know how much it's hurting you, no matter how good or bad it is, right? People just be clicking buffs and it actually is hurting you. So when it loads, which is here, this is what you usually get when you get your buffs, right? You see these, all you really do is read this. Increase defense by whatever, 10% chance to restore whatever HP, and then also reduces reload time. You find out which one is the best, and then you click it. You need to also be clicking effective 4. Click effective 4 and make sure a character that is on your team is actually getting these buffs, right? You still will get a power increase, I believe, if nobody's on your team getting these buffs. But obviously, the more people on your team actually getting these buffs, it's better for, right? Because it says it's effective for these people, right? So if I get a buff, and if you look, Helm is not here, right? It says effective for these characters here. If I get this buff and Helm is not there, and I have Helm on my team, Helm is not getting this buff, right? And same thing when it comes to increased defense. It's not. These characters are the only characters on my team getting these characters on my account are getting the buff, not my team, right? So make sure you're clicking effective 4 and see what characters you have on your team that you're using, right? So out of all these buffs, if it doesn't matter really for me, because my power is slightly higher than the average players, but if you're looking and you're just clicking, oh, increase defense, and you click effective 4, or you never clicked effective 4, you don't even know if you're getting a buff or not, really. You don't know, right? So like this buff here is better for me because 3 out of 5 of the characters here are on my team, right? While here it's only one character here is on my team, which is Pepper, and then here it's also just Pepper and Rapunzel, right? So I would go for the one that gives me, you know, buffs to more of my characters to increase my power more, right? So make sure you guys are definitely clicking the effective 4 and checking who the buffs are actually going to, so that you're not really struggling with this, right? Because if you're just clicking increase defense, you're not probably getting a buff because there's nobody on your team that it's increasing the defense for, and that's why people kind of have a problem with thing, right? And I know this because when I do it now, right, before I was just clicking whatever buffs, right? But then when I, you know, realized, okay, there's an effective for it, I clicked it, and then I redid it, and on difficulty 4 specifically, I redid it, and by the first time I did it, my highest power was like 54k. I redid it, actually read through it and checked who was effective for, and I ended up with like 67k power, right? It doesn't matter. The buffs were actually kind of worse because there was more R's, but because it was buffing up more of my characters on my team, it was going higher and higher, right? So definitely click your effective 4 if you're not doing that when it comes to simulation. I think honestly that is your best way to beat it, right? Especially the floor difficulty 4, what's it called, difficulty C, right? Tribe tower is another thing I want to kind of talk about. I know people do this every day. Maybe you don't. Maybe you do this tribe tower every day. But when it comes to when it opens, when it comes to those other towers, the typing towers, you want to mainly do them, right, every day, right? Because not every tower for these typing ones are open. It changes or not randomly, but it changes daily, right? I think only on Sundays is where all of them are opened, right? But you have towers here. If you're not clearing it 3 days, you're probably losing rewards. You want to try to push for as far as you can on these towers, right? So make sure you're definitely checking this out. The only one that's really going to be difficult for most free-to-plays is Pilgrims, right? Because Pilgrims, again, are, unless you really summon on Helm's banner and got lucky with Pilgrims, if you didn't pull Helm, you're not really going to have many Pilgrims, right? I summoned 21, I guess I did 19 multis on Helm's banner, and I got a dupe of a Pilgrim I already had, right? That's it. Everybody else was either Helm or basically characters that weren't Pilgrim, right? My bad. So yeah, definitely make sure you're doing your tower every day. Click on it, check it, right? I wish you could like just quick battle these. I think these should be quick battled, right? But if you look here, and obviously refresh it too, because again, your account is evolving. You probably don't know. Just click auto if you need to, check whatever, and then you're good, right? So yeah, my power with my Lesions there is 32k. Pretty good. It's gonna keep me covered for probably up to floor 30 of the tower, right? So there is that. All right, now we're gonna talk about affinity. Now I think this one is the most important important. I should have probably started off with this one, but I do think affinity is the most important one because you don't know if you're wasting it or not. Technically, in a sense, you're not really wasting it no matter what you're doing with it, but I would highly recommend to only use affinity on characters you know you're going to use for a long time, right? So as of right now, until Laplace, if depending on how much dupes I get for her, the team I have right now is going to be my main team, right? My team is going to be my main team. Again, like I said, right now my Haran has 1 dupe in her. If I get about 3 dupes for Laplace, I'll replace my Haran and keep her there with my Helm, because Helm is doing this not necessarily the same thing as Haran, but it's not like she's kind of basically doing the same thing as Haran. It's just a bit weaker. But she has more to it than Haran, I think, right? But if we go to the command center and we work on our affinity here, or look at our affinity, you will notice that I have gotten all my affinity characters for my main team to 10, and now I'm working on other characters here, right? So Crow, this was a mistake that I did, right? I got Crow to rank 6 first. It's not really a mistake because, again, Crow is my favorite character in this game. But I got Crow to rank 6, and I don't use her now. I don't use Crow like that. So if I knew that this was really buffing up your stats and all that stuff, right? Because again, the higher your rank go, you get stats. So if you click additional, you see you get stats for your ranking on your affinity here, your affection, or whatever for your Nikkes, right? But that 6 ranks could have been split between all my characters here, right? Now, rank 10 is the highest, I think, but for Helm, it doesn't seem to be. I don't know. Maybe if it gets here, then it will say. But I think my Helm can actually go higher than this. Maybe based on how much dupes you have, you unlock more rank. But for, I know characters like my Rupee here, it says she's max, right? Even Pepper, I just got a dupe for Pepper, and I could still get her up, right? So yeah, based on your dupe stay, I guess rank goes higher, right? But you want to basically be focusing on your main team, right? So as you see, I got them all to 10, and now I'm working on my Senti, who has 2 dupes in her, so I put her 3 times, because now I want to get her to rank 10, because when I do that, I can replace somebody else on my team and put Senti in there, so I get more of a power-up increase, right? Obviously, if you just want power-up increase, do exactly what I'm doing, but if you have a set-in-stone team, right, like it works together, synergizes together perfectly, then go ahead and use that team, right? And I guess, honestly, the last thing is really just like summons, right? I don't think there's anything else you really need to focus on. I think everything else is really straightforward, right? I'm not going to talk about the recycling room, because the recycling room, if you get it, you use it, right? It's not like which one you use it on, because they have different type of tokens for each I should say section or buff in the recycling room, right? So I'm not really going to talk about that. I guess there is something I missed, right? And it's kind of to increase your gems, so I guess we'll talk about that. But I wanted to talk about that in another video, right? Which is all ways to get gems, or like how to get gems in this game. So I guess I'll save that for that type of video, right? It's not really something you have to do, but you know, it will give you gems. So I guess I'll just see you guys when we are oh, make sure you're doing your bulletin board every day too, right? I know people kind of forget about that, but make sure you're doing your bulletin board every single day. So you just go to the outpost and click bulletin board down there, and you're good, right? But last but not least, I guess, is summons, right? I highly recommend not using your gems, obviously, on the standard banner, right? So if you have this, for example, if it says you have 7 tickets and you want to do a multi, don't use the gems, like 900 gems to get the extra 3, right? Don't. Just wait until you get 10, or if you want to just do singles every time you get a ticket. But with this like standard banner, don't use gems on this banner. I highly recommend to like never use gems on this banner. Oh, my game crashed. It's only better if you use gems on the limited banner, because you actually get more of a value from it, right? Of course, it's harder to get the rainbow tickets, while for the main tickets on the standard banner, they give it to you every single day. Not every single day, but they give it to you like more often, obviously, than the advanced recruit tickets. So just use your gems on limited banners. You're just getting more of a value out of it there. I feel like you're wasting it using it on the regular banner, because if you don't get nothing, you don't get nothing. While if I use it on the limited banner, I'm getting tickets, and I'm building on my pity, right, for another character in the future. It's more of an investment on the regular banners. But overall, or not on the regular banners, on the limited banners. But overall, I think those are really what you need to be focusing on. Really, it's not really just the simulation room that people have a problem with, and also the affection, right? If you are doing that thing with the main banner, like if you're using your gems on the regular banner, obviously please stop that. But most of the things I covered in this video, I think were accurate. I don't think there's anything else that I really need to discuss that like will prevent or hurt your account essentially. But you guys let me know if this video was helpful in any type of way, and I'll see you guys in the next one. I'm out. Peace.